Mr. Zaqy Mohamad.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, for allowing me to speak on this bill, which makes changes to our Air Navigation Act and the Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore Act. I will touch on two objectives of this bill. One, to safeguard the financial sustainability of the aviation system, comprising of the airport licensee, operator Changi Airport, and airport users such as airlines and passengers. And two, to set up a new airport capacity management scheme. There are two key amendments relating to the safeguarding of the financial sustainability of the aviation system. The two amendments allow for the following policies to be implemented. The first is the collection of the new Airport Development Levy, which is the ADL, which would form part of the airport users' share towards funding the new Changi East developments. Minister has explained why we would need a levy, an ADL levy during the MOT Committee of Supply, and that the government had arrived at the ADL quantum of $10.80 for origin destination passengers and $3 for the transit transfer passengers after studying the funding models of other airports and consulting the industry in Singapore. Can the MOT update us if, after consulting the industry on ADL, whether it has received any feedback on this? Will the MOT consider offering a staggered implementation of a levy so as to help airlines implement the new levy? I've expressed during the COS debates that this increase should not affect the competitiveness of Changi, and we do not want the airlines to feel that it is disadvantageous for them to operate here, as it will affect our status as an air hub. The second policy of this bill allows for the creation of a reserve fund from the Changi Airport Group's profits. The aviation system is often subject to short-term shocks, as we have seen over the last decade, whether it is the global financial crisis, pandemics, wars, or even oil price fluctuations. The CAG, being a monopoly, has been able to weather such shocks better than the airlines, and they have typically been able to generate a higher margin than the airlines due to their monopoly power. Since this bill allows for a reserve fund to be built up from CAG's profits, can the Ministry explain to us what this fund will specifically be used for? Could it elaborate the type of instance where this fund will be accessed? Since the aviation industry is also a volatile one, vulnerable to external shocks, the workers in the industry have worked hard to help Singapore achieve its world-class aviation industry. Can the reserve fund, fully or part thereof, be deployed to help low-income employees such as ground handlers tide through in times of need? The other amendment in this bill aims to better optimize the use of airport capacity by introducing a new airport capacity management scheme. This is particularly important as demand for air travel increases, and we face terminal and runway capacity constraints before Terminal 5 is completed. This will allow Changi Airport to continue to grow without sacrificing quality or efficiency in service standards. I understand the new legislation will enable CAS to set out the requirement for airlines to comply with allocated slots. A slot refers to the permission for an airline to use the infrastructure of a slot-coordinated airport, specifically runways and terminal buildings facilities, at a specific date and time. In capacity-constrained airports worldwide, slots are used to manage demand for limited capacity and ensure efficient airport operations. In coordinating slots, Singapore currently follows the worldwide slot guidelines published by the International Air Travel Association, or IATA. These only provide administrative, non-financial measures such as deprioritizing a particular aircraft operator or for future slots, or withdrawing grandfather rights for airlines that misuse slots. As air traffic at Changi grows and we face increasing constraints, slot misuse such as airlines intentionally flying into Changi or departing from Changi at a different time from the allocated will impose greater productivity costs on airport users, airport staff, and other airlines. Can the Ministry explain how the new airport capacity management scheme will allow for stronger deterrent measures and more efficient use of the airport? How does the Ministry plan to balance these deterrent measures so as not to create barriers for Changi to be the airport of choice for carriers in future? I just hope that Changi will not be perceived to be difficult or complicated to work with, considering our ambitious air traffic expansion plans and likely increase in competition from other airports in the region. Deputy Speaker, sir, I support this bill as it provides our aviation sector with the necessary legislations to keep track with updates and trends. It is also a step in the right direction to ensure that we have a vibrant aviation sector. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.